Here's your DIY Blackout insulated window covers. You'll need Reflectix, duct tape, measuring tape, a Sharpie, scissors. Here you can see that I am measuring with my measuring tape the height and width of the window, which is very crucial and important when you're doing this. Then I apply my measurements to the Reflectix and just cut to fit. Once I mark on the Reflectix, I just go ahead and cut out a square, and then from there I take it, put that square into the window, and just kind of mold and trim. I will do this with every window just to make sure that there's no light coming in and no light going out for that stealth. Here's a little hack. When you're doing the passenger side window, like I am here, I'm just tracing this side because I'm going to use the same trace for the driver's side window. Yeah, literally, all of the things that you're tracing for the passenger side can be reversed for the driver's side. So just remember to mark which side you need to black out. I do the trimming, make sure that it fits on both driver's side and passenger side window, and then I mark in a corner with an X while they're still in the window, so that way I know that the reverse side is going to be blackout and the other side is Reflectix. Less time consuming this way. Right here I am tracing out the small front windows with parchment paper and a marker just to get a better feel for its shape, since the windows are just so small. Then after I cut its shape out, I put it onto the Reflectix, and I'm going to give myself about an inch to kind of play with so that I can get an exact fit when I'm cutting and trimming to place into the window. And I'm doing this with all of the windows as well. It's just less room for error. Now I'm measuring the front windshield, and I'll tell you, this was probably the hardest one to do just because of the rear view mirror. I was literally going back and forth, hitting all of the corners, and I had to use two different colored markers. For this, I used a red Sharpie for all of the markings that I felt could have been in error. And then I used the black Sharpie at the end just to make sure that I was gonna make the right cut. I hate my rearview mirror. It literally took me over 15 minutes to do this. I had to make sure each corner of the Reflectix was staying in place in the windshield. I was literally going back and forth and back and forth. It was way too time consuming. I think I'm only going to use the one side. I don't think it will fit if I flip it. And now on to the driver's side and passenger side windows. These ones were a little bit more difficult, but in the end, they came out awesome. Next up, I am doing the back passenger and driver's side windows. So, last window, the rear window. And I almost forgot. I started gathering all my cutouts, placing them down to paint, and I closed the hatch, looked to my left, thinking, wow, I still have some Reflectix left. And then I looked up and went, oh my God, I have to do the rear window. Luckily, I did have enough. So, I mean, it is what it is. There was a tiny little gap at the back part of the window, though, that I'm just going to have to cover with duct tape. That's probably the only thing that I really had to worry about with this last thing. But I did have enough for all my windows with the one roll of Reflectix I had. And lastly, you can see that I am adding the final touches to these window covers by adding matte black spray paint.